Sunday evening in Sarasota, Florida. 11-year-old Carly Brucia had spent the day with a friend and was on her way home, just a short walk. Nothing out of the ordinary, but someone was watching. And then it happened. A security camera at a car wash captured the last few moments of Carly's freedom. A grainy black and white image, a man in a uniform, approaching, speaking to her, reaching out. And then she was gone. This is the story of a crime that shook the nation. A case that left an indelible mark on the justice system, forcing us to ask the terrifying question: how many monsters walk among us, unnoticed? February 1st, 2004. Sarasota, Florida. It was a warm evening, a typical Florida sunset casting a golden glow over the streets. Carly Brucia, a bright and energetic 11-year-old girl, was walking home from a friend's house. The journey was short. She had done it many times before, but on this night, something felt different. Unbeknownst to Carly, someone was waiting for her, someone who had no intention of letting her make it home. Security footage from a nearby car wash would later reveal the horrifying truth. A man, dressed in what appeared to be a uniform, approached Carly as she walked past. He spoke to her, calm, authoritative. Perhaps he pretended to be a police officer, or maybe he simply demanded she follow him. Whatever he said, it worked. Carly hesitated, looked around, then, helplessly, she obeyed. The man took her arm, led her away, and they vanished into the night. What happened next was a nightmare beyond imagination. When Carly didn't come home, her family immediately knew something was wrong. Her mother, Susan Shorpen, called friends, neighbors, anyone who might have seen her daughter. But no one had. Panic set in. The police were contacted. Officers arrived quickly, knowing that every second was crucial in a missing child case. They scoured the neighborhood, knocking on doors, asking questions. And then they found it, the car wash surveillance tape. What they saw on that grainy black and white screen would haunt them forever. There she was, Carly, walking alone. Then, a man, tall, stocky, wearing a uniform, stepping into the frame. He reached for her, and just like that, she was gone. The video sent shockwaves across the country. It aired on every major news channel. America watched in horror as the final moments of Carly's freedom played out on their screens. Who was this man? The FBI joined the search, working alongside local police. The pressure was on. A tip line was flooded with calls. The blurry image of the man in uniform, his face barely visible, was analyzed, enhanced, and spread across the media. And then, a name emerged: Joseph Smith, a man with a past, a criminal record filled with drug charges, violence, and failed attempts at rehabilitation. A man who should have been behind bars, but wasn't. Smith was no stranger to law enforcement. A drifter, a drug addict, his rap sheet stretched back years. But somehow, despite numerous arrests, he had always managed to slip through the cracks. When officers tracked him down, he denied everything. But the evidence was mounting. Witnesses placed him near the scene. His history of violence made him an obvious suspect. And then a chilling discovery. Carly's lifeless body was found behind a church, discarded like trash, left in the dirt. The nation's worst fears were confirmed. Carly Brucia was gone. Joseph Smith stood trial, facing the full weight of his crimes. The evidence was overwhelming. The surveillance footage, the DNA, the damning testimony. The jury deliberated. The verdict was swift. Guilty. A death sentence was handed down. But for Carly's family, there was no justice, only an unbearable emptiness where their daughter once was. Years passed. Appeals were filed. Smith remained on death row, a hollow shell of a man. And then, in 2022, fate decided his punishment. Joseph Smith died in prison, not by execution, but by illness, a fate far kinder than what he had given Carly. Carly Brucia's story is more than just a tragic headline. It's a warning, a reminder that predators walk among us, hidden in plain sight, that the justice system sometimes fails to keep them behind bars. Carly's face, frozen in that grainy surveillance footage, is an image burned into history, a haunting reminder of innocence stolen. We tell these stories not to instill fear, but to ensure that the past is never forgotten. Because the monsters, they're still out there, and they're waiting.
Like, subscribe, and comment.